Content warnings for this video are going to include the mention of animal death, scams, general harassment, and the discussion of doxing. Please proceed with caution. Please either check out my community tab post or stick around to the end of the video for a call to action. Gorlworld is pretty simple on the surface, I would say, criticizing the Gorls for their outlandish behavior and calling out their numerous lies. But sometimes, like the situation with Rachel Reacts, people insert themselves within the lives of the girls for what they think is justice in some sort of manner, like finding proof that they are lying and saving animals from their neglect. But really, these instances of touching the poo or cow tipping might just be about money. Hey there, I'm here to interrupt your regularly scheduled entertainment. French Fried Gorl, also known as FFG, and that's also how I'll be referring to her throughout this video, is a girl world reaction channel most well known for her continual coverage of Chantel, aka Foodie Beauty. When FFG found out that she lived fairly close to Chantel in Canada, she used this knowledge to go to places that Chantel would frequent or events that she would be at, like the time that she went to a fashion show that Chantel was participating in, or the time that she went to a shopping area to prove that Chantel was shopping at a dispensary when she was briefly back in Canada during the Kuwait era.
Well, Frenchie went to the court today, so let me pull up exactly what I mean. Hold on.
So you remember when I was telling you guys how I knew where she was in the court because she was filming at that Shoppers Drug Mart and then talking about Starbucks, and I said, wow, they share the parking lot with something that I know very well, the dispensary. Let me show you what I mean. So you got the Shoppers Drug Mart where she filmed. Then you've got the Starbucks right over there. And I'm just going to pivot around and show you what's on that side. What do you think the one plant that they sell over there is?
Uh-huh. That's right. You know what the one plant is. And that is the parking lot. And that is exactly what I was saying, why I knew she was going to the dispensary there. So anyway, your girlfriend, she's on her way into the dispensary today, and there's an employee, a man, standing on the outside of the door, washing the windows. And I just, en passant, I open her channel and I just go, hey, by chance, do you know this person? It's Cornwall. It's a small place. And he goes, yeah, I've served her. And I go, okay. And I just walked in and I bought my shit and I went back to my car and I came back to Montreal.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching, guys. See you later.
Bye.
See you later. Oh, by the way, Pete, you didn't know who I was. French Fried Gorl.
Yeah, I think Chantel mentioned that you were going to be here.
I can't. I can't.
Someone did mention that you were going to be here. So.
She was she cheered me on and she liked my outfit.
And ask Pete, did I say she should buy the black dress?
Yeah, the black dress she recommended.
I'm so happy that Chantal's biggest fan, FFG, made her way to watch the show. Very, very happy for Chantal. Because honestly, truly, if FFG and Pete's weren't there were only like 4 other people in that audience. So I'm glad somebody was there to watch.
FFG in general has been kind of a controversial creator in the girl world space due to her continuously putting herself within the antics of Chantel's real life, like befriending one of Chantel's former friends.
She's become besties with Chantal's in real life best friend, Shannon.
We're going around with the cart. I'm next to Shannon. Okay, suddenly I grab Shannon's arm and I go, oh my God, it's Uncle Phil. Uncle
I'm
Phyllis.
like, oh my God.
Uncle Phyllis was like right
Right
ahead of
there,
us in the Walmart in Corinth. That really fucking happened today.
No, we didn't run into her. No, we didn't talk to her.
We went out of our way to not run into her.
Yeah.
But like,
how awkward though. Because I said right away, but we're not stalking. But like, she's gonna, you know what I'm saying? Like, what the F?
the news is already getting to Kuwait. Oh my God,
Oh,
they're
yeah.
fucking stalking me again. Last time they drove past my mom's
We were
house and
just
now
shopping.
they were following Uncle Phil around the Walmart.
And manipulating Chantel into giving her one of their cats. The situation with the cat, BBJ, is actually what sparked the urge to script and record this video. Really, the situation with the cat actually has sparked a bit of rage in me, but I'll try to remain professional as much as I can. For those unaware of what happened, here is the long-winded explanation. Once upon a time, Chantel had 2 cats, Sam and BBJ, both of which were very obviously neglected. People had been hounding Chantel for years to take the cats to the vet and the groomers for medical treatments and routine hygiene things that the cats desperately needed. Chantel, however, seems to potentially have oppositional defiance disorder, which is just a medical jargon for doesn't like being told what to do. I don't actually know if she has this disorder, but a lot of her behaviors tend to line up a lot with the symptoms, and it's hard to treat someone with this disorder since one of the key features is not wanting to listen to any sort of authority figures in their life. Due to Chantal not doing what was asked of her by her community in regards to her pets, people had been calling animal control on her a few times to no avail. There is even a change.org petition for someone to make it possible for Chantal to no longer be even allowed to own pets, although I'm really not sure how anyone would be able to enforce that in the long run. A couple of years ago, Chantal got a new man named Salah. He lived in Kuwait at the time, and Chantal wanted to move to be with him, but didn't want to or couldn't afford to take her 2 cats with her, and her then roommate, ex-boyfriend Pete, either didn't want to take them in or he couldn't take them in once he was forced to find a new place to live since he also had his own money issues. Although knowing that Pete allowed the cats to get to the point that they were visibly matted and BBJ's claws had overgrown to the point of becoming embedded into her paw pads, maybe it's the best that Pete's didn't keep either of the cats either. And yes, I do say that Pete's allowed this because it's my own personal opinion that if you're living in a home with those animals, regardless of whether or not they're yours, in quotes, if they're there, you should be taking care of them too. I just, in general, think it's kind of fucked up to not take care of an animal just because it's not legally yours on paper, but that's just me. Chantal had mentioned rehoming or putting the cats down, particularly the older of the 2 cats, BBJ. I actually don't know if she wanted to put Sam down or not, but I do know that she was planning to do so with BBJ. Seeing this and believing that Chantal was just going to put the cat down as an easy way out so that she could just pack up and move as quick as possible to the Middle East, FFG made a plot to rescue BBJ from Chantal. Either by getting someone in her audience to send these messages or using a fake name on Facebook, FFG had managed to convince Chantal to rehome BBJ. FFG sent her brother, whom Chantal had never met, to pick up BBJ. FFG would then go on stream after BBJ had been given to her brother to tell the world, essentially just bragging about the rescue and how FFG's sister-in-law now had BBJ. Over the next couple of years, FFG would receive copious amounts of donations for the care of BBJ and to just generally celebrate her rescuing the cat. Not only has FFG made several thousands of dollars from her viewers for the rescue of this cat, but she has also used the cat as a means to just rub it in people's faces that FFG was thriving away from Chantal, even recently telling a story of BBJ being happy with gifts that someone had gotten her early for the holiday season.
Yeah, I'm sure she loves you just like your former cats loved you. And by that, I mean, hate your fucking guts. But since she just reminded me, y'all, our gift for BBJ for Christmas this year, you know those things they make for cats and it's like a fish and the tail flops around? Okay, so it's one of those, but it's like an updated version of that. It's a shark. It is the cutest fucking thing. Cutest fucking thing. So I hope she really likes it. Don't tell her what we got her till tomorrow. And I didn't have wrapping paper with cats on it, but I had wrapping paper with dogs on it. So I wrapped it over. When I dropped it over at my friend's house, who has BBJ, I wrote sorry on the fucking wrapping paper. So when the cat reads it, she'll know it was no hate. It was just, I don't fuck with cats like that. I don't have cat wrapping paper, but I have dog wrapping paper because that's what I wrap the dog's Christmas presents with. I was saying at the beginning of the stream, we got her. We, as in the girl gang's gift to BBJ, is a shark. It's like a robotic, mechanical, I don't know how you call it. A shark that flops around instead of a fish that flops around. It's very, very cute. I think she'll really enjoy it. She's an aggressive player, and that thing moves kind of spastically. I think she'll really, really like it. An aggressive player. That sounds nuts, but she is. She really fucking gets into it.
The issue with all of this is that despite all of the stories that FFG has told through the last 2 years of BBJ living her best life and frolicking through a field of flowers, the truth is that BBJ actually passed away the same year that she was taken from Chantal. After her lies were exposed by her own brother on Twitter, FFG would go on to admit that if he didn't expose the truth, she probably would have never admitted that BBJ had passed away.
I want to apologize to you guys because I always said that I would tell you if she passed away. And you know what? To be honest, if all this hadn't fucking kicked off, I don't know if I would have said anything for, I don't even know how long. I really don't. I just kept waiting because I don't know. You guys know how fucking feral this community is, okay? And I'm not trying to get all ooh woo me. I'm being straight with you guys. This community is fucking feral, and things have been fucking out of control for months now. I knew that somehow BBJ's death was going to be like weaponized against me. I just fucking knew it. I knew it.
He had exposed a lot of things in regards to BBJ, like how he had never met or married someone named Amy Flowers, and FFG was actually the one who had BBJ the whole time, even now with BBJ's urn. Now, it's a little fuzzy to me, actually, what is going down between FFG and her brother, and honestly, I really don't care about their interpersonal drama. But for one reason or another, FFG's brother, Chris, has been on a Twitter warpath against FFG. He has exposed the fact that BBJ had passed away in 2023, exposed roughly how much money FFG had made during the stream celebrating tricking Chantel into giving away BBJ, and has alluded to a lawsuit either currently happening or upcoming against FFG for fraud and extortion. People who are not a part of FFG's immediate community theorize that BBJ probably had passed away at some point because FFG stopped supplying photos or videos of the cat. But when you would look back on her content, she would segue BBJ into conversations a lot as a means to upset Chantel and to dry beg for money, since she knew that if she mentioned BBJ, people would flood her with donations for the sake of the cat. She frequently would mention BBJ needing specific, very expensive medications and frequent vet visits, despite the fact that BBJ had actually long since been deceased.
Oh, Fork Sniffers Anonymous, thank you so much for the super chat. That's very nice of you. I did well with my crypto investments this month, fancy. Please use this towards BBJ's vet bills. Absolutely will. That's like almost half of a Silencia. Think about, she'll be grooving and moving and feeling all good next month for thanks to you, Fork Sniffers Anonymous. Thank you very much.
FFG would further monetize BBJ as a prop for her content by planning a stream to celebrate the 1-year anniversary since she had tricked Chantel into giving her the cat.
The next time I want to hear about BBJ is, oh my God, literally 1 month from tonight, when it'll be the 1-year anniversary of BBJ's rescue, aka her new motherfucking birthday. Okay? BBJ turns 1 year free 1 month from tonight, and that is the next time I want to ever discuss this fucking cat. 1 month from tonight. Until that time, and then after that day, I don't want to talk about the cat thing anymore. This is what the cat thing is now. A date to be remembered every year, once a year, and a little bloop bloop, a little bloop.
And making calendars for a giveaway for her audience.
Zooflute, thank you for the super chat towards the shipping of the calendar. That's so sweet of you. Thank you so much, Zooflute. Julie, thank you for the super chat. Sharing some of my bonus for the shipping. Love you all. I'm so ready for this Christmas break. Woo! Christmas break. Woo! Long distance high five to everybody who starts Christmas break today. Cherry Blossom Mocha, thank you for the super chat. Shipping for the BBJ calendar. Enjoy a cup of hot chocolate. Ooh, that sounds very, very nice. Thank you very much, girl. Happy holidays to you too.
I think that FFG would have still made a lot of money off of BBJ, even if she was honest about her passing when it happened, as people would probably donate loads in order just to celebrate the end of her life and a kiddie funeral kind of thing. When addressing this, FFG admits that if this lie wasn't exposed, she probably would have never admitted that BBJ had passed away.
You know what? To be honest, if all of this hadn't fucking kicked off, I don't know if I would have said anything for, I don't even know how long.
Despite whatever FFG will say, this wasn't about being sad or nervous to tell her audience that BBJ had died, but rather she just didn't want this revenue source to dry up. But more importantly, I think, is that FFG didn't want to lose her biggest weapon against Chantel. Now, I was a little confused about the beef between FFG and Chantel, because it seems a little over the top and a little ridiculous, but I looked it up, because I wasn't around when it actually happened. But apparently, when Chantel was first fucking around with Natter, FFG went digging and found out that Natter had allegedly stabbed a previous girlfriend. She had tried to warn Chantel of this, and Chantel, chronically hostile towards anyone and everyone trying to help her, went on a live stream and doxed FFG's phone number. From that moment on, FFG has had serious beef with Chantel. She continuously uses BBJ as a weapon against Chantel, saying things like she hopes that BBJ outlives Chantel.
You know, long live BBJ. I've said it since a year ago tonight, and I'm going to keep saying it. I genuinely hope that that cat outlives the heifer, and the way things are going, it's looking like she might. So, inshallah.
And dangling updates about BBJ over Chantel's head.
She just didn't like my answer That was the thing. She did ask for smoky updates and asked about a BBJ update. I told her what would be the condition of a smoky update because I know Chantal. I'm, like I said, not a fucking moron. And I knew damn right she'd be coming to the internet with it today. So any update I had given, and in fact, the update was I was going to show her a little video of BBJ frolicking in the grass that I took not even 2 weeks ago. It's adorable. That would have been her update.
I believe that in addition to the money, another big motivator for her to continue to lie about the status of BBJ and her being alive was just for the sake of being cruel towards Chantel, because FFG lives to piss Chantel off. Although, in fairness, it does appear that these two women tend to go bat for bat with antagonizing each other at this point, so whatever. During her stream addressing BBJ's death and how her viewers were upset over her lying for so long, she says that if anybody who donated money to her felt like they had gotten scammed, which they were, that they should email her their names and other contact information for her to try to get them some sort of refund for their donations. The issue with this isn't that she is offering refunds. In fact, the problem has nothing to actually do with money, but one of her mods in the stream's chat was telling people not to email her because she is a well-known and prolific doxer.
Genuinely, if you feel that you were wronged, email me, French Fried Gorl, all one word, at gmail.com. I will be more than happy to reimburse the super chats if you feel that you were wronged. If you want that super chat back, okay? I genuinely mean that. FrenchFriedGorl at gmail.com.
Well, see, here's the thing. One, that's great if she actually does it. Two, I don't know that I would, just having seen some of the things that she's done to reactors and viewers alike, just to be clear, I don't know that I would give her any of my personal information like that.
All one word. Send me an email.
Oh, one of her, somebody who's a member in her chat. Somebody who's a member in her chat said, "Careful, she doxes. Do not do that."
Through the years, FFG has found information about other people online that she dislikes for whatever reason, and has threatened them through DMs to expose and dox them. She has apparently done this with another creator called Just Saying, a faceless channel whom FFG went to some sort of event with and filmed them when they were at the event, and has threatened to release their face. FFG has also had or has a Discord server where, with the help of some people in her audience, would dox FFG's detractors. This apparently includes doxing Amber Lynn's girlfriend Emily's child.
One of French Fried Gorl cult members gets an unwanted text, and the response is Foodie's OnlyFans content of her naked as fuck in the bathtub. Is this revenge porn? Weren't these behind a paywall? Y'all just have Foodie's naked OF content in your phone on hand? Get a life. This shit is actually concerning. FFG. You've had several rages about how horrible people are and to leave the kids out of girl world, but you have no problem with your cult members doxing children's names and photos in your Discord. FYI, I'm the one covering her face and information. I guess you only care about children on your stream when you have a shared audience with Yabba, huh? And Lori, fuck off. You said I was so wrong when I said you were FFG's #1 weirdo doxer. Well, clearly I'm so right. So this says, oh my God, I just doxed the fuck out of her girlfriend. At the time she was talking about Amber Lynn Reed, she has a kid. And I found the court records, laughed my ass off. So I had to scratch this all out, but basically they went and took this girl, all right? They found Tommy's Facebook, I don't know whose fucking Facebook, and dropped this in there with a little girl in the photo. I had to cover this up, okay? They went and found her father, this one right here, the big oblong thing, the oblong shape. They found her father and put the picture of her and him in the Discord, all right? So we have Tommy's kids all up in FFG. Why? Why is this happening? You're all fucking weird. Girl World, in case anyone is wondering who Sarah is and why FF Gunt and her cult members are doxing her, posting her mom, hospital photos, ID, and claiming she's a junkie who sleeps with her students. It's because she's an excommunicated girl gang cult member who was in FFG's sacred Discord.
Additional to that, FFG has had members of the server hoard information about each other in order to use as blackmail or other forms of leverage in case someone in the group would do something FFG didn't like. It seems that FFG was also trying to dox people in order to get an in with other creators. She seemed to have an issue with a creator called Negs for a while, who would go IRL to fuck with people, but somewhere in this timeline, FFG would try to win Negs over by trying to dox one of her former friends to Negs, which is weird.
And she sent a screenshot of, I should have did a better job blocking this, and I do apologize. I just realized it right now. She sent Froggy's full docs to him in that screenshot.
It's all very weird behavior. FFG kind of thinks that she's some sort of like cult leader, mob boss type, that if people aren't 100% loyal to her and kissing her ass, then she has to like punish them in some way. It's very strange. I've also been told that she apparently had doxed Chantel's mom by putting Chantel's mom's house in a thumbnail to a live stream before. Again, horrifically strange behavior. It's also very confusing and convoluted when you're not like watching everything in real time, as I found out, because a lot of people in Girl World, FFG especially, tend to delete their content or have it deleted for them via whatever platform it gets put on. So it makes fact checking so very difficult when a lot of the information is coming from third-party sources.
Keep in mind, she's telling you, you can go back. You can go back and screen record and take screenshots and all these things when she started off the stream telling you she's deleting it, because that's what she did. She deleted it immediately. So in real time, to make sure that you don't pause and take screenshots right then and there, hey, when I'm done with this, when I'm done talking and manipulating you, you can go back and take screenshots, screen record, do whatever you want, knowing she started off the stream saying she was going to delete it. And that's what she did. But I was right there, screen recording all 42 minutes.
Oh, and I may have to dirty delete this one because I don't give a fuck today. I'm coming for this fucking dumb bitch as hard as I want to.
FFG takes any chances she can get just to be really fucking mean to someone for what appears to be no reason, like shouting about Amberlynn's mom being a gambling degenerate, or calling Chantel's mom a whore, apparently, because she has half-siblings or something. I could see an argument for an eye for an eye type of thing, because Chantal did say something pretty nasty about FFG's mom, but from my understanding, their beef has gone on for years prior to Chantal making any comments about FFG's mother. I actually wonder if FFG's tendency to bring up other people's personal family members is a form of projection for her own dysfunctional family situation. If there's one reoccurring thing that I've realized about FFG while trying to research and gather some context for her behavior, it's that FFG is a master projector. She projects nearly everything on other people.
Over and over and over about me. And what do you have to say? Chinians talking shit about a chin. You know what my chin never did, Charlie? It never fucking made me housebound.
Oh, the bitch is well on her way. Go ahead.
It never made me have the fucking giant forehead, the santeja, to come to the internet and think that my fucking entitled fat ass deserved a free trip to Hawaii for being fucking housebound.
Comments about someone having a large forehead? Girl, seriously? Listen, if there's one thing that I really, really try to do is not comment on people's appearances for things that they literally cannot change about themselves. I understand what it's like to have a lot of insecurities rooted in my appearance, but I'm also sensitive to when people are belittling other people for their appearance because they themselves are insecure about their own appearance. As it's become apparent to me through tedious amounts of research here, when FFG doesn't have some sort of like dirt on someone, she instead resorts to elementary levels of bullying by attacking someone's appearance, regardless of if she falls onto that same boat with her insults. This train of thought on her projections leads me to the things that she had said actually about Zachary Michael and his dog Poe. She made some pretty wild claims about Zach and their care for their dog, including saying that due to Zach's negligence and refusal to get Poe medical treatment, he caused Poe to pass away. She said that if Zach cared about Poe in the same amount that he cared about Amberlynn being miserable in Wisconsin, Poe would still be alive.
And you know what? I'm gonna say thank you to Zachary Michael. Guess I am. I know he hates me, he doesn't want anything to do with me, whatever. But like, he saw that I was unhappy. He saw it. He would make fun of it. And I almost like took it out on him. But the truth was, I was mad at him for being right. I was wanting to be happy with Emily because when I first fell in love with her, she was perfect. She was literally perfect. Even my mom thought she was perfect in the beginning. It's like, whatever.
Well, if your fucking gambling degenerate mother thought she was perfect, she must fucking be perfect. Oh my God. I'm holding in snark about Zachary Michael. I'm just ignoring it, but Can I make one snarky comment? And then we'll go back to ignoring. You know what? Maybe if Zachary Michael had spent a little less time worrying about you being happy or not, he would have had a little more time to focus on the fact that his dog needed to be medicated, and then maybe the dog would still be alive today. Okay, that's it. That's my last snark, but also true. Fuck you, Zachary Michael.
Except Poe is alive. Zach discussed taking Poe to multiple vet appointments to deal with him urinating in the house from anxiety, has dealt with this issue, and Poe is fine. But you know what animal is deceased? BBJ. At the time of FFG spreading these rather wild and outrageous lies about Zach and his treatment of his still living dog, FFG was also actively lying about the status of BBJ, who had already been deceased by this time. Could this projection be due to our own sense of guilt that maybe BBJ could have lived longer if she was more thorough with getting her medical treatments?
And more recent bitch move was that his little dog, I think its name was Poe, got very sick, and he refused to get the dog the treatment that the dog needed. Used the dog as a prop, though, behind him in the videos he was making, but then refused to care for his sick dog. You know how I feel about animals. Like, ugh, you're fucking dead to me at that point. Disgusting.
Rosie and FFG are basing these claims on allegations based on me sharing in my Twitch stream that I had taken Poe to his vet for a dental cleaning and also had them do a urine analysis while he was there because he'd been having an increase of accidents inside my home.
There has been a chance BBJ could have lived longer if Chantel was better at managing her medical care, but BBJ was also apparently a 20-year-old cat. So even if there was no medical complications with like a blocked urinary tract or whatever, it was only a matter of time before she passed. FFG has also lied about other things in regards to Zach, like claiming that Zach was trying to get her to strike another channel.
Years and years ago, I was a brand new channel, and he tried to talk me into striking somebody that he wanted to strike, but he also didn't want to be known as somebody who strikes other channels. So he thought I was stupid and born yesterday and tried to talk me into doing it. No, I didn't like that. That was a bitch move.
When in reality, Zach was just informing her that a channel was re-uploading her content.
But then let's just address the other part of this clip where she says that I allegedly tried to convince her to strike somebody's channel. FFG is wildly misinterpreting what's going on here, okay? This screenshot in particular, I think, is what she's talking about in her video, okay? So I sent her a link to a channel. This channel, from what I remember, had a bunch of videos of mine and hers re-uploaded with no editing whatsoever. So they were essentially literally just reposting our content. And I think I got a notice about it because, well, you'll see in the message. I said, did you get notice from YouTube that this channel basically just reposted our content, no reaction or anything? I don't normally request removals of content or anything, but it seems pretty blatant. I almost went to request it be taken down and then remembered I would have to share address information with them, so it feels like it could be a trap, LOL. She said, no, I just went and checked and I didn't get anything. I said, oh, weird. It does say this video was posted 3 days ago and I just got this notification today. Weird. Well, right now the reposted video mine only has like 2 views, so I will let them have it, LOL. She said, oh my god, LOL. I'll let you know if I end up getting a notice about it too. And I said, sounds good.
This is honestly something wild to claim on her end since FFG does strike channels from what I've been told, which is possibly how she came to get some of the doxing information that she seems to have, or at least that's my theory. We already know that projection is often a reflection on someone's own insecurities, which is where the common phrasing of an accusation is a confession seems to stem from. Seeing only brief examples of FFG's projection onto others, coupled with seeing how often she is vile and horrific towards people online, I have to wonder just how much of her insults and verbal beratement of others is projection. She is just so horrifically mean in a way that you just don't tend to see from well-adjusted and happy people.
But I just want to tell you that it's not hard to find examples of FFG just being a real nasty human. Here's a tweet from November 1st. She said, Bunny, you washed up filthy fucking lot lizard. You didn't mind the pay pigs when I offered you money and support after your surgery, did you? Filthy fucking pig bitch. This next one is about a reaction channel called Just Breezin'. Is just beating grandpa today really grifting for a computer? LOLOLOLOLOLOL. How many years on YouTube and you can't invest in your own channel? It's giving Chantal. Just boozing today, just boozing tomorrow, just boozing forever. Here's one from October 29th. I've seen your wife's affidavit. Don't worry about the losers I'm not in bed with. Worry about the greasy demon in yours. Have you looked up the consequences of lying on an affidavit? You in a pissy mood because there's no more pedo meth head to send your kids to on the weekend.
The more you research into FFG, the more lies you uncover about her, and she seems to cause chaos whenever she speaks to anyone online, and she is chronically online to a worrisome degree. Do you not have friends to confide in off the internet? She is quick to swap sides in order to benefit herself, so I wouldn't even say that she had online friends at this point. She is viciously hostile towards anyone who criticizes her, it seems, and if she can't dig up any factual dirt on you, she just makes things up and hopes that no one looks deeper into it to prove or disprove her lies. And she tries to bully people for their appearance. She's honestly really unpleasant, and I'm frankly shocked she has a fan base of loyal supporters instead of a reaction community centered around her in a similar way to Chantel and Amber Lynn, because honestly, she is her own type of train wreck at this point. Chantel and Pete's were not providing proper care for their cats. That much was obvious when they were severely matted in videos, had severe overgrown claws, and just looking at the environment that they were stuck in. I hope at the very least that FFG took better care of BBJ than all of that. But Chris has been making some new and concerning accusations about FFG's treatment of animals behind the scenes that has me worried. I can't help but think, though, was FFG's motivation for rescuing BBJ actually about saving the cat, or was it about the money that she would earn and the psychological damage she would do by tormenting Chantel? If this was about saving the cat, and only about saving the cat, you wouldn't use the cat to garner donations for care she no longer needed because she was already dead. If this was about saving the cat, you wouldn't lie for years about the cat thriving in order to make disparaging comments about the previous owner. BBJ's rescue started as a way to just piss Chantel off, I have no doubt, and that action evolved into a money grift when FFG realized just how much money continued to pour into her streams whenever she mentioned BBJ. I guess my question now is, could FFG get into legal trouble for this scam? Is this type of thing against YouTube's TOS since the scam was hosted on their platform? I know she is apparently going tooth and nail with her brother, back and forth with cops or whatever personal beef they're bringing online. He's mentioned things like fraud, extortion, and even getting doxxed because he's speaking out against her. All really scary stuff that definitely needs to be taken offline on this point.
But I will say that her brother got on Twitter and said that he was contacted by police about extortion. About extortion? So if she's pursuing stuff legally with him, that's so crazy.
And I feel it's also worth mentioning that, similarly to Rachel Reacts and many other creators who've been caught with their metaphorical pants down, FFG wanted to appease her audience with mentioning donating to charity as an apology for lying and scamming them for years. Except instead of just paying the charity out of her own pocket, she instead wanted to do a YouTube fundraiser for it, which that just means that YouTube puts a link to a charity to donate to them directly, so FFG doesn't lose any of her AdSense. The fundraiser is entirely reliant on her audience to fund. Not much of an atonement for your actions, but what do I know? She might have said by now that she is going to donate her AdSense as well, but I still think it's a bit crap, just saying, to just donate to somewhere as a method of getting yourself out of hot water. I could go into a ton more about FFG because her problematic behavior is its own alarming rabbit hole. I could make individual saga-style videos for each of the creators that FFG has had beef with. Chantel, Charlie Gold, Zachary Michael, Yaba, just saying. She says loyalty is very important to her, but it's not really loyalty that she's after. If someone isn't literally worshipping FFG, she turns on them. That isn't friendship. People are allowed to criticize you. People are allowed to talk about issues with you, especially if you lie, grift, and are just an overall horrible person. If you made it to the end of this video and aren't going to rage at me in the comments because you're some FFG stan, thank you. If you want to support an actual living animal in need, please look at the community tab post I made and consider donating to my dog. He has been having pretty severe seizures as of late, and we have exhausted all the tests that we can currently afford, and the vets he's been seeing are recommending a brain scan to rule out lesions and tumors at this point, among many other tests. Unlike FFG, I will give regular updates on his status, including posting current photos and videos on social media when prompted. He also has his own Instagram, so follow Watson_is_loud. I've been pretty scared of the possibility of having to put him down, so anything helps. Be polite in the comments section, like this video, and do everything else that the algorithm tends to like. Subscribe for more content by me. This video, like all of my content, is brought to you by Patreon, so thank you so much to Ippo, Alec, Mel, Chrome, and Zomboy for subscribing. That's all for now. This is Finn, signing off. Until next time.